Well, hello there. This is Craig Haynes speaking. And do you have some gold or silver that you would like to sell for top dollar? Now, I am Craig Haynes, and you're at my website, Triad Math. I'm a mathematician and a mathematics teacher, and in fact, you can learn all about that at my website. I've written a book on teaching math, and we offer a lot of curriculum on math. But in addition to that, I am a private investor, and I'm interested in buying gold and or silver from you. And I'm able to pay more than most typical dealers do because I am not running a retail type business. I don't have a lot of overhead that a lot of dealers have. And I'm only interested in dealing with people that are serious sellers that have a reasonable amount to sell. And so am able to give you top dollar, probably more than you're going to be able to get elsewhere. However, you must be the owner of the gold or silver, or a certified representative of the owner, for us to do business together. If there's any question at all about the ownership of the product, then we cannot do any kind of a deal. So with that said, there are several steps involved in purchasing gold, and I want to describe them to you the way we would do it. It's about an 8-step process, and I want you to know what's going to be involved so that there are no surprises for you. You know exactly what to expect, and we can do business together. The very first step is you need to call me or to email me, and then I would call you back. Now, we can do Skype if you like. In fact, I'm doing this video with Skype. But the important thing is we need to talk. And in this initial call, you need to tell me what it is that you wish to sell, or at least as best you understand what it is. A lot of people, I realize, don't know what they really have. And so we'll talk about what it is and what you think it might be. And this will give us an idea then of how we should proceed, or if we should proceed. Now, the second step will be then my appraiser and I will visit you. And by the way, I should have said in the very beginning, you can download a PDF of this script below the video. So if you'd like to do that and read it or read along with me, you can do so. Step two, my appraiser and I will evaluate the things that you wish to sell. And we're going to utilize a standard industry test to determine the quantity of the gold and the silver that you have to sell. This is necessary because, as you probably know, there's an awful lot of fakery going on these days, a lot of fraud, and so we have to be sure just what it is you have or don't have to sell before we can do the appraisal. Now, let me give you an example also of what's involved. It depends on how much you know about gold, but for example, if you have a 14 karat piece of gold, it can be in any format at all, then what you really have is gold by weight is 58.33% of that piece. And the reason for that is 14 carats is not a pure gold. 24 carats is pure gold. And so you've got to take 14 divided by 24 as a percentage to get the percentage. And that's something, of course, we have to do as part of the appraisal process. And similar factors are applied to 10 karat or 18 karat gold. So that will be the first job that we'll have to do. Now, once once we've done the appraisal, we'll determine how much that we can pay you when all things are considered. Now, there are many things that have to be considered, but let's give you an example. A 1 troy ounce gold coin is worth more than a 1 troy ounce of gold that might be, say, embedded in jewelry that then has to be refined. Because remember, we're only interested in the gold. We're not going to be buying jewelry as jewelry. We're going to be only interested in the gold that's in the jewelry. And that applies to anything else that contains the gold or the silver. Now, a troy ounce, by the way, is the standard industry measurement, and it is more than just a regular ounce. In fact, there's 12 troy ounces in a troy pound, but this is an industry standard, and that's how gold prices are quoted if you go and look up the price. And in fact, the amount that we're going to be able to give you at any given point in time will be determined by the spot price of gold at that point in time. That means the price that gold is just trading for on the open market, and that's easily determined at any point in time over the internet, and we take that into account. So there are a lot of things that have to go into account when we determine how much we can pay you. One of the things that I mentioned earlier that we don't have to take into account is we don't have a lot of overhead, and so we can often afford and usually afford to pay you more than you're going to get from a typical gold buyer. Now, a very similar process applies to silver. Go through the same type of process. We test it, we appraise it, and we decide how much that it's worth based on all things considered. I want to emphasize to you that you can sell anything that contains gold or silver. It can be jewelry, it can be some kind of dishes, it can be any kind of an artifact that has gold or silver in it. Obviously, coins and things like that. So, if you think you've got something with gold or silver in it, it's worth certainly investigating. Now, in step 5, once the appraisal is done, then I will make you an offer. And I will encourage you to get another offer from some local buying resource if you're able to do so, just so you'll have something to check against, so you'll feel comfortable in making your decision. People are always real worried about getting ripped off, or they should be at least worried about getting ripped off when they sell gold or silver. There's a lot of people out there that'll take advantage of you and give you a lot less than they really ought to give you, than in my opinion it would be worth. But, and of course, you don't know me from Adam, so you probably want to get another appraisal before you would actually meet with me. Now, if you decide to accept the offer that we make you, then we're going to have to consummate the transaction, and we will frequently do that at a local bank of your choosing or a professional office such as your accountant or your attorney. Wherever you would choose to meet and be comfortable, that's where we're going to make the purchase. You're going to deliver the products to us, and you're going to be paid with a certified check or a cashier's check or a bank transfer or even cash. This will depend on your preference and how you want to handle it and deal with it. And of course, that'll all be part of the negotiation before you accept the offers. How do you want to be paid, and where do you want to be paid? And generally speaking, the offer is made and has to be consummated pretty much at the time it's made, or we have to go through the process again because of the change in spot prices. Now, I want to emphasize step 7, that safety. Both your safety and my safety and my associate's safety will be of paramount importance. We only do things in a way that we know is very, very safe for everybody concerned. That's, for example, why we will be meeting at a bank or a professional office usually to do the deal. Um, Sometimes it's necessary for me to go to a home for a variety of reasons, and I will come to your home. But I will tell you this, I never bring cash when I come to the home. We come there to make the appraisal, and I invite you to have someone else there during this time for your own security. Now, I know it's not necessary. I know that I'm legitimate and I pose no threat to you, but I think it's for your peace of mind you should have someone there. And then if we do make the deal, we will, I said, consummate it probably at a bank or professional office of your choosing. If we have to do it in your home, then I'll have to come back with the cash. Usually it's a cash transaction in that case. And I will probably, depending on the circumstances, bring a private security with me, like a local police officer, something like that, for both of our securities, because there's going to be money involved, and I don't want there to be any possibility of all of any safety problems for anybody concerned. Now, step 8, as you can imagine, because of the constantly fluctuating prices of gold, any transaction we do, once it's done, is final. There can't be, there's no 3-day rescission and say, well, I've changed my mind. No, once it's done, it's done. And that's both ways. I can't come back to you and say, oh, hey, the price of gold has gone down. I want my money back. You can't come to me and say, oh, the price of gold has gone up. I want my gold back. We make the deal and it's done. But that said, I really want you to be completely satisfied. And in fact, I will not even do the deal with you unless I'm convinced that you are, in fact, satisfied with the deal, because my reputation is much more important to me than any given transaction. And indeed, I would like for you to recommend me to any other acquaintances you might have, or clients, if you in fact are a professional that might wish to sell their gold or silver, because that's what I do as a private investor. And so my reputation is much more important to me than any single transaction. And I only do deals where I'm convinced it's best for both parties and that both of us are going to be satisfied. So if this attracts you and you have some gold and silver to sell, then I invite you to call me, 812-332-8179. That is my private line. I'll answer it, or you'll get my voicemail. No one else answers this phone but me. I also have an email, craig@hain.com, and you can email me there with your contact information, and I will call you. As I said, we could communicate by Skype. If you prefer that, that's okay too. In any event, if you have gold or silver to sell and you are serious about it, then I invite you to give me a call and we can discuss it and go from there. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And so this is Craig Hain signing off. I perhaps will talk to you at some point in the future. Have a great day. Bye-bye.